matter which instrument I'm playing, this is my favorite instrument. That will be my favorite instrument, and so on and so forth. What I find interesting when I talked about the environment, watching the dancers move, how they use the space, how they use the dynamic of their body, change the emotion, and so on. This is exactly what we do as musicians. So, if I played this, can you hear anything? I'll guarantee you did, because suddenly your body language completely changed. Moving forward, head's completely focused here in this direction. You were listening, but without the need for sound. Without the need for sound. So for me, the sound starts even before anything is fed through the instrument. But I'm the instrument. I'm feeling the sound here. I'm feeling the kind of the atmosphere, the picture, and there's no way that I'm going to compete with the fans that are running above us. But when you are in a very intimate setting, you suddenly realize that this sound of silence is in fact an important sound. It's a sound that builds the atmosphere. You see it in sports people. You can feel it. It's the loudest sound possible when you just see them focused, focused, focused. You can see them running the race or going through their motions. You can see it in their face. You can see it in their bodies, but yet it's complete and utter focused silence. And it's probably the best part of watching sports people. It's an amazing thing to witness. And as a musician, I can really relate to this sense of, in a way, privacy, but yet it really does set the atmosphere for our audience as well. So, if I just started the piece again, so there we have an example where the difference between these going off and on, for me, made a huge, huge difference. So rather than, fighting this, where all the time what we try to achieve is in fact all those subtle things that make a big difference. The smaller the thing, the bigger the difference it actually makes. That's what we practice in our practice rooms. It isn't just scales and arpeggios and being all flash and things like this. It really is the communication from one bar to the next bar to the next bar. But what happens in between this It's everything in between that's so incredibly important. When we have a conversation, it's what we don't say. It's everything in between, what we look at, what we're observing facially, the body, and so on. That's our form of communication. Sometimes it's difficult to get the right words out. Sometimes it's difficult to just create a career by being a percussionist. Those are the tools. But to be a musician, and more so to be a sound creator, it's the sound creation that allows the open-mindedness. The musician is something that we give. We learn a piece of music and we give that to our audience. The percussion element is sorting out the mechanics of how to get this instrument to speak. And that was so important, and a distinction that my teacher from the age of 12 made to me. Evelyn, percussionist, musician, sound creator. It completely opened my mind and allows this continual journey to happen as the career that I've decided on. So really a very interesting point to make, really. Chris.
So if I may, Evelyn, I want to come in with a couple of, just to elaborate on a couple of things you've said and to kind of bring them back. One of them is about technique. And I have a bias. I believe that, as I kind of hinted at the beginning, sports people can do it, but great artists, and particularly great musicians, have a great deal to teach. Teachers, leaders, all sorts of other people. And one of the reasons for that is because of the focus on technique. And I had a really interesting conversation yesterday with Claire Taylor, who was sitting at our dinner table. And Claire Taylor, the first woman to be nominated as one of the Wisden top 5 cricketers of the year, was up on the stage last night. And she's taking a sabbatical at the moment. After a couple of tours, she's taking some time out. So I asked her what she's doing.